Welcome back to another exciting episode of Gone. This is part IV 4. I run to the car, open the door, and turn the key. I begin to drive down the streets toward the cemetery. Once again, I decide to take advantage of my isolation. I punch the gas pedal with my foot. The car speeds through the intersections and flies over the dips. I ease off the gas pedal. The cemetery is only a block away. I pull up to the cemetery. Vampire movies and horror movies play in my head. A slideshow of images of vampires race through my mind. Vampires jumping out of graves, sucking blood, and even attacking me. I get out of the car and run up to the tomb. It stands about 12 feet high in the spooky color of a gray. This has to be a vampire in it. Can you not read? This has to have it. Right. This has to have a vampire in it. I grab the latch of the door and slowly opened it. Whatever. I slam the door shut. I run back to the car. I lean on the car window and begin searching for a pencil, just in case there's a vampire in the tomb. In the glove compartment sit more than 10 pencils. Why do I have 10 pencils? I grab them all. I take the pencils and secure them together in a bundle with a few rubber bands. Why do I have rubber bands in the glove compartment? What, am I a psycho? I hold my underwear. I hold my homemade steak in shaky left hand with the pencil points pointing behind me. I run back to the tomb being careful not to stab myself with the pencils. I slowly open the door once again. My teeth are rattling. My body is shaking and my mind is tightly gripping the pencils. What if there is a vampire inside this tomb? That would not be good news. All it will do is prove that vampires did take over the world, and I'm either doomed to live the life alone in bright sunlight producing lights, or I'm going to be a vampire's lunch. What the fuck does that say? Let's see. That would not be good news. That would not be good news. All it will do is prove that vampires did take over the world, and I'm either doomed to live my life alone in bright sunlight, producing lights, or I'm going to be vampire's lunch. How are you producing lights? What does that even mean? Well, I can't wait any longer. I must know the truth. Did vampires really take over the world? Is everyone dead because they became vampire food? I push the door open. Nothing. How can nothing be in here? Is it still daylight? The vampire should be sleeping. It is still daylight. The vampire should be sleeping. And what better place to sleep than inside this spooky tomb? Disappointed and relieved, I walk back to the car. I open the door and sit inside. I collapse my head on the steering wheel. If it's not vampires, then what made everyone disappear? Aliens? How could it be aliens? I've seen the movies on the Sci-Fi channel. Spelled SCIFI. That tells you when I wrote this. Their abduction team can't spread throughout the entire world and only abduct people and aliens. Aliens? It also doesn't say aliens. All right. Their abduction team can't spread through. All right. This cannot work as a real. Their abduction beam can't spread through the entire world and only abduct people and animals. And the movies have always hinted that there are aliens. If there are aliens, they are here to take over, not to steal the life off the planet. What happened to everyone? Did dimensions merge for a brief second and I was the only one sent to this dimension? Or was everybody sent to a dimension alone? Different, it's kind of not needed. Or was everyone sent to a different dimension alone? You happy? This doesn't make sense. Wait, that plate. That was sitting on my table in the kitchen. Am I an experiment? Not sure how I jumped to that conclusion.